do a little shed hunting today and see if we can't find some of our hit list bucks that we've got on camera from last last season. So we will see what happens today. It's a perfect day. It's snow starting to melt. It's warmed up to about 45 degrees. We've been in the negative 40 degrees in the last few days. Cloudy, overcast, can ask for a better day.
So first up in this episode, Dennis Hensley is hunting a farm that he knows pretty well by now. He shot his largest bow buck ever last year, and this year he's using that knowledge that he learned over that first year to apply that to stand placement. He's looking at his hunt stand maps and his hunt stand app, and he's going to figure out exactly where the big bucks are. After this hunt, stick around for newcomer to the team, Drexel Richardson. He is coming out swinging. First year with the team, and he does not disappoint.
About this, as they walk this road, picture they get over that hill. There's that. We can see them from my tree stand.
Yeah.
Game on. Yeah. Game on. Things are really starting to warm up and heat up here.
On all of our farms.
Oh man, it's been awesome. Cameras been out. Went off today. We've got some really good mature bucks finally showing up.
So Dennis applied what he had learned in that first year to this following year. He studied really hard his stand locations on those hunt stand maps. He looked at the map and he pinpointed if he needed to move sets or put up new sets.
Our other set is straight down there, and I have the binos on all the big ones, chasing the does right in here, this little area. All the does, if they surrogated south, all they would do is cross the fence and be up in this corner right here. They would not come down no lower. Got a huge draw. They've got some bedding areas up there now. That corn gets picked. Last year, this is where I got all the shooters. I think this is it, man. This is our last move. It's just seat time now, so.
Looks like we need to adjust the camera anyways.
Yeah, looks like the cows have moved it.
Great.
So, yeah.
He hung 2 new sets. In particular, one was on the inside corner of some timber and pasture, kind of where they meet together, a nice transition area where deer move between properties. And the other one he hung and never hunted until he actually killed.
It's November 2nd. We're here on the farm where I killed last year. This is my first sit of the year behind the bow at the Mako X made by Expedition. We're very excited. This whole B-level road and creek bottom is tore out with scrapes and little rubs. It's about 32 degrees. We've got deer all over us. So we're gonna sit back and hopefully we can catch an owl with giant on its feet.
This farm is a fully functioning cattle farm, but because of the way it's managed, it holds some big deer. And because of that, Dennis found himself passing on a few bucks early on. He saw a lot of deer. Every sit, lots of deer, but he knew that if he put in his time, it would pay off and that right buck would come across.
Super excited to be in here. We got about a half inch of snow the other night, yesterday. So this morning it's -1, super cold, but there's hardly any wind. They've picked all the corn to the south, to the north, and to the west. So there's no standing crop around us, so things are about to rock. The bucks are up on their feet chasing does, so fingers are crossed.
November 8th was a phenomenal day, and we had deer movement everywhere. And Dennis had decided to take the day off and spend it with the family. But after getting text messages and snaps from all of us, he decided that he was gonna run to the woods. Because this was last minute, it meant that Dennis was gonna have to self-film. Normally he doesn't self-film, but he's certainly capable of.
Okay guys, we're all set up. The wind's out of the south-southeast. It's perfect. I got the ozone going. And the bucks are on their feet. I'm kind of fighting a cold too, so hopefully this weather's been crazy here in Iowa. It's been -1 to 40 to 50 degrees, so got a bunch of does up here in these cedars. Bedded. I came in a whole different way, so I want to bust anything out, so fingers are crossed. Hopefully we can get a big old Iowa giant. I've got a shooter 50 yards from me. I shouldn't even be talking right now, but please stick with me.
So on this farm, Dennis does not have cell phone service, but the cell cam has cell phone service, and that cell cam sent a picture of Dennis's buck to Ian Sparks. And before Dennis could even notify us that he had killed a deer, Ian was en route to the farm.
Look at this. Are you kidding me right now?
Just got up in the tree.
Just got in there?
Just in the tree. I mean, I bet you 15 minutes. I'm like, short interview, November 16th. Gotta go. There's a deer 50 yards from me. Coming across the road. He's chasing 2 does. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be quiet.
You riled him in?
All the way, come behind me. Come where you sit in the cameraman stand. Behind the ditch, cross that crossing right there. I had him at 35. But then he went to 40, and I still shot him at 35, and I hit him a little high because I aimed a little high with a 30-yard pin. Buried him. I'm like, well, I know I got him. It's a good deer. It's a deer I'm going to mount. I mean, he's a really pretty deer.
Perfect.
I'm very happy with him. Here's the deal. I'm happy. So, you know what I mean? I ain't going to kill booners every year.
Yeah, I hear.
Bottom line.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the self-filming part's tough.
Oh, hey, by the way, this is Drexel.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, it's
Oh, my gosh.
it's insane.
Let's go look at him.
You want to grab that camera?
I ain't going up there.
I will tell you this, it was facing the right way, I promise. I know it's facing north, but when I shot it was facing the right way.
Okay, making sure.
So the team called me today and said the bucks were chasing does pretty hard, so I had to get a job done this morning, but I got a chance to get out here this afternoon about 3 o'clock. And everybody else was teamed up with camera guys, and I decided to come out here and just self-film myself because I was a last-minute thing. So I told them I'd be fine, so I got out here, and right when I was walking down on this Level B road to get into my tree stand, I was seeing bucks chase does. And this guy was actually up on the hill chasing some does, and I got quietly in my tree stand and hit the horns, and it was 30 seconds, and he come right on a B downwind of me, B string. Couldn't get any pre-roll footage of him. It's pretty tough self-filming, as we all know, but it was pretty thick, so I couldn't get anything, so I was just more concerned to having the camera where he was coming at 35 yards. I hit him a little high, but I got another arrow in him to finish him off, so I couldn't be more pleased with this deer.
Next up is Drexel Richardson. He's a newcomer to the team, but he runs around with some solid dudes. The guys from Bedford, Ty Green, Garrett Green, and Talon Rydell. And the four of them all work together. They've been hunting together for a long time. Drexel's based out of Missouri, but he graduated from high school this year and he moved promptly to Iowa. But he's gonna spend this fall hunting Missouri, and he makes the most of it.
Right there, another opening warning.
I grew up in the outdoors hunting and fishing with my dad, and within the last 2 years, my interest in filming it went through the roof. So this year I finally got to pick up a camera and head to the stand. It just so happened to be one of my better years hunting.
It is November 10th and the rut is on. I've been in my stand for almost 2 hours now, and right as I got in the stand, had a small buck chasing a duck by. And this morning my dad, he saw 3 shooters, and 2 were right by where I'm hunting now. So I just got home that this evening, one of them just comes cruising by me.
I'm back in the stand, the same stand that I've been in the past 4 or 5 sits. Talon Rydell and I set these stands up midday last Thursday. We got a north wind, a cold north wind. Didn't get out this morning, just really cold. So I got out here kind of early in the day, about 2:30 now. And hopefully it all comes together. Lots of deer sign. There's just so many different deer. I've seen so many bucks in the past 4 or 5 days. I have 2 stands on the other side of the farm, or this field, and in both stands I just seen, can't wait to lose. If I'm in one stand, they're on the other side. If I'm in the other stand, they're on the other side where I was. So we're just going to sit here and hopefully one comes in.
It was so cold, the deer were gonna be on their feet. They had to move to stay warm. So I got out in my stand. It wasn't 13 minutes, and right next to me on the ditch line, there was a nice 8-point. Came around, followed the trail, followed my tracks right in front of me, stopped him, 22 yards, and I let him have it. He didn't go 60 yards, piled up.
My first ever buck on film by myself. It is currently 2:56 on the dot. It's not even 3 o'clock and I just smoked him. He's not a monster by no means, but I got really excited about that deer and I'm happy with that deer. I put that arrow right where it needed to be. So I'm gonna gather myself and I'll get back with you.
So right after I shot the deer, I knew the shot was perfect. I watched the blood just pour out of him. So I called Dad, called my buddy, and they were on their way. So I hopped down, I walked back to the truck, and they picked me up. We drove back, started tracking, and he didn't go very far at all.
I'm pretty sure I can see the arrow right up here in front of us, so we're gonna go take a look at it and blood. Bunch of blood up here. There he is, right there. Let's go. Expedition. Just a beautiful buck.
Wow, I don't really have much to say. It's been a long season so far. Perfect shot on him. I mean, can't really think of anything to say right now.
So rifle season came around and it was just warm. We didn't have much deer movement at all, but there was a cold front going to be coming in within, I don't know, the first weekend. And I knew that that's when I needed to be out in the stand.
It is November 21st, and I'm back in the stand that I was in 2 nights ago. It's been really warm the last couple of days, so the deer haven't really been on their feet. We had a really nice cold front come through, and I'm already hearing gunshots, so I believe the deer are moving already, hopefully, so.
As the evening went on, I started to see a few deer, and I was filming a small buck out in a cornfield, just eating away, and it was cool to watch. I hadn't seen many deer during rifle season yet. And out of nowhere, I just had a hunch. I pulled down my binocs, and literally right there in front of me, 80 yards, a buck was just right there in front of me. Mark!
Let's go. I'm sitting here, I'm watching a buck, and this deer's 80 yards in front of me. I'm like, holy cow, this deer's way bigger than that one. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Sorry. Oh man. We're gonna go right over the hill, and I'm pretty sure he's just laying right there. I think he just piled up, so come see. What a beautiful way to fill both my buck tags. Both self-filmed. Couldn't be happier.
All in all, it was a very successful season. I got to film my best friend kill his biggest buck. Not only that, I killed both of my first ever bucks on film, self-filmed. So next year, hopefully we can keep the ball rolling and keep making great memories up in the tree.
Well, that wraps up this season. What an amazing season it was. Thank you all for watching and following along with us. That's why we do it. We do it for our friends and our family and for you viewers to watch. That's the only reason why we're here doing this. And thank you so much for watching. We got another season coming, and we can't wait to share it with you.